Bryson Tremaine is the only 6'4" receiver on the roster right now that, well, I've said it on Twitter for sure. But he's the only 6'4", only other receiver on the team with that size, that frame, right? But Bryson Tremaine, I don't like, you can't get on a roster just because you can catch high passes, like, or that you can make plays because of your height, and like there's so many other intricacies of being a receiver that I don't think when he shows in a game isn't necessarily standing out. And it confuses me, because the reason why it confuses me is when I look at these reports about Bryson Tremaine, I seen this last year when I was at camp. Like, Bryson Tremaine stood out in camp from his ability to make plays at the catch point, but he wasn't always creating that much separation. It wasn't like he was really dotting people up in the route phase, but he was a dog at the catch point because he's 6'4", but he's also got strong hands. He makes plays. He's competitive at the catch point. Like, he does things right there when the ball is in the air. You can't take that away from him. But like, I'm not saying the coaches don't like him, but I think that he still has a long ways to go. He's not that fast. He's also not that person who's like athletically gifted in the sense at that size. So like, he has things against him. So I think about a Martavis Bryant, right? And I remember him being an athletic guy, like at his size. He's an athletic guy, but he also has the speed. And I'm not sitting here saying that he's here to replace Bryson Tremaine, but they need help because relying on Bryson is not a person, like, I don't think Bryson has solidified himself on the roster. And I think all of the people who are clamoring for him, I seen this last year. Like, I visibly seen it last year, and I know what it looks like. And he's doing the same thing again this year. So like, that back end of the roster has not been solidified yet. You only really got 4 guys, fellas. Who is that? That's Terry, Jahan, Zacchaeus, Diami, and 5. I'm sorry, because Luke. They're not gonna cut Luke. They're not gonna put Luke on practice squad. So who's that 6th guy? Who's that 7th guy? I don't know how they're gonna do it, but like, who are those guys? And that's kind of where I'm like, bro, like, they really need to focus on those back end guys, because they're gonna be using these guys in certain situations. And one thing that Dan Quinn mentioned specifically when it came to Martavis, again, not projecting he makes the final 53. He still has to play these last 2 games. He still has to practice. But one thing he mentioned was the fact that he was a red zone dog. Like, that's what they envision in Martavis right now.